Jim the Anvil Neidhart passed away this morning. It seems unexpectedly. We all know he had his demons for many years. If you've ever seen even some of the Total Divas episodes with Natalia, you see some of the struggles he was going through recently as a few years ago. But it happened this morning. There was reports on Twitter, many reports. I heard the news. I read a tweet. I was hoping it wasn't true. Then, of course, I see all the major news websites reporting it a few hours later. This is horrible. A legend, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. One half, the other half of Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation. Jim Neidhart, when they had that team, they were one of the biggest acts in the company in the 80s. I mean, that tag team was just a great heel tag team. They had very memorable parts in some of the earlier WrestleManias before Bret got the big singles push, obviously, but they were a really great tag team. And the Hart Foundation throughout the 80s, just countless feuds, and then to 91. I mean, they split up one time, and I think 91 is when they were officially done. And then, of course, Bret became the major superstar of the group, and he got the huge push. And in 92, Bret won the WWF title. But Neidhart, they did a new Hart Foundation, and unfortunately, it didn't go much anywhere else there. He had him team with Owen Hart for a bit. Him and Owen, they went against Bret, and then Neidhart left in 92. He was fired for unprofessional conduct, and he went to New Japan for the rest of that year. He had a brief stint in WCW in 93. Nothing much there. Of course, he went back to WCW after Bret got screwed in 97, but he went to ECW for a really bit. It was a one-match show, basically. Then finally he comes back in 94 at the King of the Ring. He was Bret Hart's corner man in the match with Diesel. But however, he screws Bret Hart. He costs him the match, and of course they feud again. This was right in between Bret Hart and Owen Hart's rivalry. They had already had the match at WrestleMania 10. Of course, Bret and Owen would have that classic cage match at SummerSlam 94. And he was basically Owen's muscle for a while. He was clearly, they had it was the Harts. They were against him, and unfortunately, the whole thing with that was supposed to lead up to was going to be Owen Hart and Neidhart to be the new Hart Foundation and win the tag team titles. However, what happened was Neidhart was he no-showed events, but Hart wrote down in his book, and then ended up having Owen Hart winning the tag team title with Yokozuna, and that was they put Yokozuna in there, but the original plan was for Neidhart and Owen, to be the new Hart Foundation. He had problems for a while. He no-showed events. And we all know the problems he had with his addictions. In 97, he comes back and he attacks Austin. Now, this is in between Bret Hart and Austin's feud. I mean, Neidhart, for the majority of his later run in WWF, was much more of just a muscle guy. It wasn't necessarily, the great tag team wrestler they had him in. The Hart Foundation was the team, so it led up all the way until the Survivor Series, it's a Survivor Series 97. And of course, we all know the Montreal Screwjob when he left. However, there's one thing I really wanted to mention. There's this one heartbreaking picture you'll see of the Hart Foundation in 97. Every single one of them is dead except Bret Hart. There's Bret Hart in the middle. Then to the side of them, there's Jim the Anvil Neidhart, passed away this morning. There's, to the right of Anvil, there's Davey Boy Smith. He passed away in 2000. There's on the other side, there's Owen Hart, of course, at 99. We all know what happened. And the other one, besides Owen, who was part of the Hart Foundation at the time, was Brian Pillman, who passed away in 97. So that was such a great tag team. 20 stable, actually, in the Hart Foundation. And it's just really sad looking at that. And I saw Bret Hart tweet, how devastated he was. And obviously, this looks like this. It was completely unexpected. I know he had some problems. I mean, if you want me to go into the problems, we can. A whole bunch of legal problems. All I know is, with drugs and, he had a lot of rehab that was paid for WWE. The thing I know about him that you can look at it. He has 3 daughters with his wife. They have Jennifer. She's a gourmet chef. Of course, the middle girl is Natalia. We all know her. And Natalia. I mean, I saw tweets of her from 3 hours ago. If you don't know Natalia, she tweets every 5 seconds. So if you follow her on Twitter, she'll be all over her feed. But she was tweeting as early as 3 hours before the news broke. The first broke, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, this was completely unexpected. And they have a third daughter, Kristen. It's again, I don't know if we know the full cause of death. It's just he kind of passed away in his home. I don't know if I can really talk about exactly what happened because I don't know. So this is still really new of his death. We'll have more details. All I can say is my deepest condolences go to the entire Neidhart family and to the entire Hart family. Deepest condolences go to Natalia and to Jennifer and Kristen, his 3 daughters, and to Ellie, his wife, and to the entire Hart family, Bret, and the entire Harts who knew him. So, deepest condolences, Jim the Anvil Hart. Neidhart will be missed, and again, deepest condolences go out to his family.